What's good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening to the Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the economic calendar going on for the markets, what's going on with news involving Tesla, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I begin the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks, and the offer ends in just about 1 week from now. Anyways, for Tesla, we're on the lower end of this range. Tesla was stuck between 180 as resistance and 173 as support for the past month. And right now, we're just barely testing the 173 support, so we'll have to see if Tesla could hold this. If we lose this, if we fail to hold or even close above 173, there's going to be a risk of more downside, at least as we approach this gap down here to 168. So there is a risk of some downside in Tesla if we lose this critical support. So I'll break down more details about this, what's going to affect us before I get into the charts. So I just want to make it very clear today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. Please note that at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 42-day bill auction and 52-week bill auctions coming out. That's going to be very, very important for the markets. Then at 1 p.m., we have the 10-year notes auction. So a bunch of bill auctions, nothing too crazy, at least for today. But just know that today is going to be the last day until we get CPI for tomorrow. Not to mention the FOMC meeting, with Jerome Powell giving a speech at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wednesday is going to be a massive day. And generally, the days before, CPI and FOMC are not as crazy. We tend to see a lot of consolidation. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. But if the CPI numbers get leaked, sometimes there could be a big reaction, at least towards the end of the day. So we'll see how things go. And we'll be very, very patient, at least for the time being. Now, right now, the market's quite neutral. We are still seeing a lot of buyers defending their positions. And so far, buyers do still have an edge as we're seeing the market make higher highs and higher lows. And the VIX is still quite neutral looking at the current time frame. So that's going to be important for the VIX. As far as Tesla goes, Tesla's working with Baidu to upgrade its mapping software, which is good news for them because this partnership is going to help them develop FSD in a lot better ways. On top of this, it's going to give them a lot more chances for regulatory approval and different odds like that. So with FSD developing in China, this is going to help them not only gain more insights, but it's going to be very useful for them, incentivize a lot more growth in the company, bring in a lot more revenue, and help them in a lot of different ways. With the support of Baidu's lane level map, Tesla's navigation can accurately render lane changes on the road, and the users could also use this to do a lot of different things like lane level guidance and such, which is very, very useful, very, very important for driving and assistance. So very good stuff, at least for Tesla right now, at least in China. That headline just came out. Tesla's also restarting its hiring beyond AI and robotics in a very, very big way. That's very important because you guys can see right here, Tesla did dip quite a bit after they laid off about 15 to 20% of their staff, but they are going to start rehiring very, very soon. There's a lot of demand, at least for Tesla. I can't wait to see what else is coming out. A few weeks ago, they reported they were only restarting to hire for AI and robotics, and now I think that they're going to start expanding this a bit, little by little. So that's actually some good news, I would say. Hopefully, other great employees could come to help really improve things, especially for management. So that's going to be a very, very good sign for them. Tesla's also facing California's false marketing claims concerning AI. This was actually very important because the DMV had in July of 2022 accused Tesla of misleading consumers about vehicles with autopilots. So this is actually continuing to go on after getting a lot of declines from different judges. So the San Francisco federal judge rejected Tesla's bid to dismiss the proposal, and this will continue in litigation at least as time goes on. Still waiting for Tesla's response. That hasn't really come out yet, but that's something I just want to note. Anyways, as far as technical analysis goes, we are going to be looking at Tesla in a very, very important and dire manner. Tesla is at critical support right now around this 173 zone. There were moments where Tesla did dip a little bit below it only to get bought back up. So watch and see, does Tesla dip below 173 to get bought back up, or do we just bounce from here? If we do get a rebound, I'll be expecting 176 again. If we lose 173 and we hold below it, there's going to be a risk of us dipping lower, but close is what's going to be important. Do we close above 173 or not? If we close below it, there's going to be a risk of us dipping down to fill this gap all the way down to 168. And this does technically resemble a short-term, head and shoulders. So that could be a little bearish for the short term. But even if we do drop about 5 points, it doesn't matter. 3 to 5 points is not much compared to a much bigger inverse head and shoulders that's still forming. And even if we do get a little dip, we could still bounce big time, start pushing into the 200s. All right, so Like I said before, we're not officially breaking on Tesla. We're just watching this critical support. Can Tesla hold 173? This is our critical level. We'll see if Tesla gets a bounce or not off this zone. But historically, it does love to bounce and hold above 173. So watch and see if we get a little dip in a bounce. And let's see if we try to close above this level. There's a good chance it might try to rebound back up. So we'll just have to watch just to be safe. Now, Bitcoin, it's actually tanking quite a bit. This was at 70,000. We had a head and shoulders. It's now playing out very nicely. We're currently around the 67,000 area. We could get a little rebound before we continue. But Bitcoin is looking a little bit more bearish. We actually formed a nice double top. I'm seeing quite a bit of weakness, at least on the chart for Bitcoin so far. So overall, guys, Bitcoin is slowing down a bit. This could be a signal. We're seeing liquidity kind of shifting in the markets. Crypto is showing some weakness, so we'll see how this kind of perpetuates as time goes on. For SPY, we were dipping a little bit, but this is exactly what we predicted. SPY loves to kind of dip and then bounce. So as long as we're above 533, that's where our 4-hour 20 EMA happens to be. SPY is going to be on an uptrend. We might even test 533, but watch and see if we bounce off that and start pushing back up to 535. If we lose 533, I'll be looking for a dip towards 532.5, then 531.5, then 529 as 3 supports. In my opinion, it's going to dip a bit, but watch a test of our 20 EMA. Let's see if SPY bounces off this. The last time we touched this, we did bounce 2 times. So we could bounce off our 20 EMA at 533 and then make our way back up higher. If we lose it, we will turn back to a little bit more bearish. So watch for a big test right now. For Nvda, we're just trading sideways. We have resistance currently around this 123 area, supports at 119. I think that Nvda might dip a bit towards like 119, then come back up and just continue to trade sideways. It's not really doing a whole lot. For the QQQ, we're dipping a bit, but we like to bounce very close to our 20 EMA. So there's a good chance it could retrace to about the 462s. So watch us see if we get a bounce off 462 or not. That is a critical level, at least for the QQQ. If we lose 462, we could be tipping all the way down to 460. If we hold it, we could rebound. We'll look for a little dip and see if we get a bounce or not. Now, what else is fueling the way the market's moving is the fact that Apple got this big dip all the way down towards the lower 190s. This happened as a result of a buy the rumors sell the news event with Apple's AI conference. Now, what's good is we're actually trying to reclaim the 50 EMA. The 50 EMA is currently around 192.8. That's going to be critical support. If we hold above this, we could see a rebound to 194. If we lose this support, we could be dipping all the way down lower. So watch and see if the market gets a bounce. Apple does look to me like it's trying to bounce right here, try to get back up to 194. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. That's going to be our next resistance. For a few more, we have the IWM. It's currently around 199 to 200. If we fail to hold above 200, look for a dip towards 198 and a bounce. That's what I'm seeing so far. AMD kind of trading sideways around this 160 area. Like I said earlier, watch 158. If we lose this 158 support, we'll be dipping much lower, all the way down towards like 155. If we hold 158, we could rebound. But as of right now, I'm seeing a little bit of weakness off this head and shoulders. So just be very, very careful. For Coinbase, Coinbase is once again approaching our 50 EMA right here. Make sure you watch and see if you could hold a 240. If we lose 240, we could be dipping all the way down towards 235 all over again. If we hold 240, we could be rebounding to 246. So watch for a big test right there. And just a few more. Amazon rejecting just a bit. It's going to likely retest previous resistance, becoming somewhere around 186. If we bounce off 186, we'll continue higher. If we lose that, we'll be dipping all the way down to 184. For Meta is also dipping a little bit as well. We're at 500. If we lose this, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 495. If we hold this, we could continue to push, but there's a good chance it might dip. I'm seeing some signals that show it might maybe turning. It's also a bearish divergence. 2 more, then I'm going to conclude the video. AMC and GameStop. GameStop is trying to base around this 23 area after filling the gap. So we want to see if we could break past 29.5. If we break past 29.5, we're going to start bouncing. If we fail to do so, then we're just going to consolidate for now. So we'll have to see if we can get that bounce. Same thing with AMC. If we break past 4.94, this thing is going to start bouncing into the 5.5 area. If we fail to do so, we could continue to dip a little bit more to fill this gap. So watch this 4.7 area. Do we get a bounce from here and try to get back above 4.94? We'll just have to wait and see. All right, that's it for your pre-market update. Hopefully this video was comprehensive, and this is what I'm seeing for the markets thus far. Tesla's trying to hold key support, so we'll see if this 173 zone holds or not. But that's it for the video, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one in just a few hours. Thanks again, and peace out.